killed your child. It's like having grain of corn and you eat that grain. It will never come back. But if you plant that grain, rather than having just few, you'll be having bunch of corn, right? You can literally harvest a whole bag. So for rich people, is that one that has been planted, that has yielded all these massive bags of corn. That's the one they start spending. And you know why they do that? Is because what that means is that that seed continues to keep bringing forth fruit, right? Remember, the initial active income had been put into this particular investment, and this investment keep bringing return and return and return. The capital still remains there. So even if I eat this seed, there's still another seed to come next year. And I eat that one, there's still another seed to come. And the capital still remains. That is how the rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poorer. Okay? It's understanding these values, understanding these principles. And so the question now is, how do I start that journey? The journey of making money work for you, funny enough, does not start with actually investing in anything. The journey actually starts in you learning about the investment. That's where it starts from. So, and I think this is one of the biggest mistakes we make in Africa. And you see people always talking about, oh, I was scammed. And we even get that. Even as a company, we still get that. You see people buy land from us, and after a while, I want my money back. And after a while, they are doing videos to say, Jesus should give back my money. They are scammers. They are this, they are that. And you're wondering, I don't understand where that is coming from. Is it land that you did not see? Or you don't even understand how the word scam. Okay? What exactly it is. And when you ask some of them, why do you want refund? Say, I'm doing my master's and I went out of cash. And it's the money I said I wanted to use to be buying land. I know I've not finished paying, but I want my money back to pay the master's. And you're wondering, like, I don't get it. Your master's is not, because you are never going to be rich because you have master's. You are never even going to be rich because you have PhD. And I think somebody hasn't said the truth to people. You're not going to be rich because you are a professor. If education makes you rich, professors will be the richest people in the world and not dropouts like Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk and all of that. Okay, so you don't get masters. In fact, what you fail to realize that masters teaches you, MBAs and masters teaches you how to help rich people manage their business. That's the reason they even started the course in the first place, for Christ's sake. Sometimes I feel like using certain words, but so that I'm not accused of being rude, I just keep quiet. But let's be honest, we just need to think a little more. Mental laziness is the problem, right? The real essence of formal education, particularly master's, PhD, is for you to become professionals who help wealthy people take their business to the next level. Help with critical thinking in big organizations, in great organizations, and all of that. Your goal is that you want to be one of the richest people, and riches is what you want. Meanwhile, where you are going is masters and PhD. I don't get that. Totally different things, right? Totally different. Don't do it. No. As I speak to you, I'm in Harvard. What am I learning? Real estate. I'm now at a dimension where the kind of sophistication I need to know about running real estate business is so complex that it's only in Harvard I will learn it. But they won't teach me how to start the business in Harvard. It's when I've started it and the thing is giving me a headache. Harvard will not say, this is how to run it without having much headache. Do you see the point? Okay? And even that part, if I now don't want to run it, I cannot get somebody who has gone to Harvard. I just need to pay him good money. He will now come and use his Harvard brain and run the business very well for me. So make sure you understand that, because I see people, leaving assets and going for liability. And the reason is because they went into investment without first understanding the investment itself. Right? So you see them coming back and crying. So you see people invest in crypto, and they don't just even understand. Say, that's how somebody has it. Oga, did you even understand that it was a high-risk investment in the first place? Okay, that's why they told us, oh, we should be doing forex. I put my money, the thing just disappeared. One day like this, it just went down, zoom. But sir, did you study about forex before you put your money? Understanding the risk that is a high-risk investment, and that every smart entrepreneur does not put all their money into high risk. So there are three dimensions of investment. There's high risk investment, mid risk investment, and low risk investment. So before you go into any investment, understand the category of investment you are going into. Also divide your money into three categories. So if I have, let's say, ~1,000,000 naira, a portion into high risk, a portion into mid risk, a portion into low risk. And hear this, when the high risk bring money, because you always bring more money faster than the low and the mid, always withdraw a higher percentage of your profit and put it into low and mid, because it's only a matter of time. The high risk will soon crash. But if you have been used to withdrawing the profit, by the time it crashes, you have made times 10. So when everybody is crying, we lost money to Bitcoin, just crash. I never knew this will happen. Oh, see life. And they warned me. Oh, you will just be smiling, right? Because you have made more than times 10 times 20, because you kept pulling out a portion of your profit. But what most people do, they get greedy. They say the thing is working. Holy Ghost, fire, the seed I sowed in church. Hallelujah. My pastor has said miracle door is opening. It is miracle loss that is about to open. Okay? Some huge loss is about to hit you. And when he there, but you say I did it too, and it was the prophecy I got. So stop. You see, this world is not a rehearsal, and I think many of us are living too much rehearsal. There's no you have. And you better get the relevant. Can you guys hear me, guys? Can you hear me? Because it looks like the screen is frozen. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, just type I can hear you.
Recording stopped.
Okay, beautiful. So I can see that you can hear me. So it's very important, let me reiterate, that this life that you're in is not a rehearsal. One life. And if you do not live intentionally, you, of course, live by mistake. And misfortune is what follows that process. Okay? So you have to live an intentional life. And one of the ways to do that is to have learned about investment types you are going into. Understand the risk level, understand the reward level, understand how they work, and then gradually start putting your money into those various classes. And make sure that you only put what we call disposable income into investment. Everybody say disposable income. Meaning, I should only put in money that I am not needing urgently. Never put your emergency funds into investment. Keep your emergency funds separate and don't ever touch it. And only put disposable income, money that you can afford not to touch for 1 year. Now, some of you say, but I'm not even wealthy enough. I don't even have enough money. So how will I ever get money that I will not touch for 1 year? Well, it's the same thing as saying, okay, it's the same thing as saying, I do not have enough. Let's assume I need for me as a grown-up adult, I'm just giving an example. Let's say the food I need, okay, has to fill this particular glass. But unfortunately, the one I got is at this level, right? Is at this level. What many of us are doing is to say, this little one I have, I will not drink it. I will not drink it because for my body system, I need a full glass of water to sustain me. And that's what we're doing with our investment. Anytime you are saying because you don't have enough money, hence you will not start investing, you are only saying you're going to starve yourself to death. And that's what many of us are doing. Not investing simply means you're going to starve your future. you are going to hit your future. You are eating your future today. That's all you are saying. And you're saying, I will continue to make that stupid mistake of eating my future because I don't have enough. So what does actually being an investor means? It means you have to sacrifice. You have to make some tough decision today so you can smile tomorrow. Some of the decisions I made years ago, driving one rickety car, okay, but kept buying more land. And everybody saying to me, can you have mercy on your car? When this car, has a second chance, it will never come to your direction. And people were mocking me. But I knew I was buying more land. And I knew I would last, rather. And you're seeing that happening today. Okay? Some of them, and they were mocking me. Today, where I live, they can't live there. Okay? Because I was humble enough to delay gratification, and not just delay gratification, to start investment at my level, because those water land was what I could afford at that point, and I bought them. And I'm better than those who were waiting to have enough money to buy dry land. So you must sacrifice. You must, of course, delay gratification. You must, of course, make decisions that will make others to mock you and call you names. But a time will come where you will have the last laugh. Let me give an example. When I started our office in Lagos, it has cost me over $1 million to open the office in Ikeja. However, I was living in the suburb of Ogun State, okay, in Ota. And I would take Molue. Now, for me to be able to afford to open an office with over $1 million or over $2 million, it meant that I could afford to buy a car, but I didn't buy. Instead, I prioritized opening an office and running a business. Of course, I even lost the office rental. The whole thing didn't work the way I planned. But I kept trying. I shut down the office when I couldn't renew the rent. Started again in my apartment. 2017 again, went back to running an office. Today, we have offices in 4 continents of the world. However, those who were mocking me in those days, that they saw me taking Molue, that my house was in the bush, and that they cannot even come and visit me. Today, I'm also now inviting them to Banana Island.
Recording in progress.
Because those who cannot come and visit you in Ota do not qualify to come and visit you in Banana Island. Or in Burj Khalifa, right? They don't qualify to come to Burj Khalifa either. So it's important to know that these words we are talking about, those of us who have done it, we had had to make sacrifices. We had had to endure being mocked so that God can make us. People had had to call us names. People had had to look down on us. But we had endured all that. And today, the story has changed. And I pray the same will happen to you. I want the organizer, Mr. Abayowa, and his wife for having me around. God bless you.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir, for that amazing session. Guys, what are we going to say to Dr. Stephen Akintayo? Can you go to the comment box and say a very big thank you, sir? A very big thank you, sir. Come on, guys. Let me see that. Let me see that in the comments. Come on. Wow. Thank you so much, sir, for the transformational ideas you have shared. Guys, just tell me one thing you have learned from this session tonight. Tell me one thing you have learned from this session tonight. Just one thing you have learned from this session tonight. All right. While I'm still looking at the comments to see what you write in the that we must learn how to invest the active income you have. The active income we have, we must learn how to invest it. We must learn how to invest it. He said rich people spend the first